Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Human Role. And as mentioned in the last episode, we have yet another great guest. This one definitely very dear to my heart because we go way back in the day to our ADP days from way ago, but we won't talk about that now. So we have Jemila Stewart. She is the VP of Broker Relations at Summer. So, hey, you guys, I'm dressed like Summer, got the hair curly, wet, got the summer vibes on today. Kind of cloudy outside, but hey, well, it'll do. But I'm really excited to talk about the new company that Jemila is at, just because, ironically, with a name like Summer, it's linked to student loans. So I know some of us have maybe not the best impressions on student loans. So I like the name that's picked to kind of pull people in. If you're like me, you might have a bad taste in your mouth with your student loan process. But Summer is here to clean it up for you all. So they definitely provide borrowers support around how to help relieve the student loan debt and especially anxiety that's related to that. So we're going to get into all that good stuff in just a minute, but definitely want to formally welcome Jemila to the show. Really happy to have her. Jemila, so excited to just see you in your new role, continue to see you blossom. So most of my network definitely knows, or at least knows of you. But for those who might not, why don't you just give us the background on your experience, and then of course what led you into Summer, to this role at Summer, and then from there really want to take a deeper dive into specifically what Summer does, not only for companies but also for employees.
Absolutely. Well, Tiana, first off, thank you so much for having me. I am very excited to be on your podcast today. And congratulations to you for your podcast and your consulting group. I'm excited just for what we can do together. We go way back to our days at ADP. I was very fortunate to have a great career with ADP, 18 incredible years, or just about 18 years, where I had the privilege of working closely with our clients and our broker partners, developing strong relationships and mutual success, really. I did leave ADP and joined a company called Meridian Link, where I spent 3 years playing a key role in establishing the partner marketplace before I learned about Summer. So now here at Summer, I am leading the broker channel and also our ambassador relationships here at Summer. And I'm so excited to leverage my past experience. I am literally in a position where I have the opportunity to help millions of Americans navigate the complexity of student debt. Working with partners such as yourself, I think that we have similar missions of helping employers reach their strategic objectives. And it's just very exciting to have the opportunity to partner and talk with you today.
Absolutely. Yes. And look, Jemila doesn't look an age over 18, right? So you guys are probably just as confused, like she said, 18 years at ADP. Definitely need all of her mojo as me as I take on the world continuously. But yeah, so let's get into Summer specifically, Jemila. So I know it's around student loans, helping employers, allowing employers to help their employee populations as well. So as my network is filled with our HR population, payroll population, we're always looking for new ways to reinvent the wheel. And this one, surprisingly, you guys, I mean, I just stumbled across it about a month or so ago as I was listening into some other podcast and was like, where was this at 10 years ago when I needed it, not only for myself, but also for past companies, right? As I was trying to bring in better benefits. So there's definitely a great mission behind Summer and what they're doing for companies. So maybe take a little bit of a deeper dive into specifically Summer, what they offer and what their mission specifically is.
Sure. So first, I'll share that Summer was founded by student loan experts. So our president, Dan Macklin, founded SoFi before joining Summer. And Will Seeley, our CEO and co-founder, was formerly a student loan advisor to President Obama and Senator Elizabeth Warren. So their expertise drives our mission to make student loans less daunting and more manageable and, like, dare we say, less scary, because it is a bit of an intimidating process at times. I will say that Summer is a proud B Corp. We have generated more student loan savings than any other provider in the space. So we have now reached 1.7 billion in savings, which is an average loan savings of 40,000 per employee. It's like no small numbers here, right? Like very impressive numbers that we're putting on the board and helping employees, helping employers as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. I did not know about those numbers. I did see, believe it, as I was doing some research, that you guys have gone through, I want to say like at least 20% approval through attrition and helping companies as well. So that's just a really good percentage to have. I mean, I think with people being so, I don't want to use the word like traumatized with student loans, but you guys, I'm speaking from like my own experience as well. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I know sometimes people are just like, oh, we don't even want to pay it back anymore. We just want it to be done. And we are sitting in some of these false promises, I guess you can say. So it seems like Summer is helping with that specific solution for companies. Wanted to also state that. And let's get into how Summer helps employers. So specifically, like, let's talk about from an HR and payroll stance, when we think about implementing another system or bringing on another provider with our already heavy workload, we're dealing with a tough economy, we're running on slimmer teams than before, what that process really looks like for an employer, whether you can go into like from start to finish or how the implementation could really potentially affect an HR payroll person, or maybe it's not even a factor at all. Maybe it's, super seamless. So I wanted to give you the floor and kind of help explain to any HR director, VP of HR, any payroll director that's trying to get this pushed through, going to their C-suite team. How can we make sure that it's not going to cause like a heavier burden for them?
Sure. And Tiana, I'll share that we actually do not have a limit or no organization is too small for us to work with. So I will share that, that if there is any organization, even if you had 50 employees and you're looking at working with Summer, we are not going to turn you away. So just know that size agnostic, if that's how you say it, is where we stand. But we're a low cost and easy to integrate solution. Very easy to integrate into your employee community, and we can do that in as quickly as 2 weeks. We do not need to integrate into any of your payroll systems or really any other system. And the implementation is pretty straightforward. And I know many people say that, right? We know the technology space, but truly it really is. You think of signing the agreement, the contract with Summer, having kind of a get to know you session so that we can ensure that we understand what's important to the employer so that we're kind of customizing their landing page for their employees. And then we are also working with the employer to craft the proper messages for the employee launch, right? Because that's also half the battle, right? Is not only getting the technology stood up, but ensuring that employees are going to use it. So we're there with you every step of the way to make sure that it's operating in the fashion that you expect and that your employees are aware so that they can begin taking advantage of the programs, of the savings that are available. You mentioned, the attrition, right? So yes, Summer does have proven results of reducing employee turnover by 20%. And we even surveyed our users, and 100% of Summer users say they are less likely to leave their job. And 86% agree to commit 5 years to their employer for helping them to pay off their loans. So when you talk about the employer experience and like what's in it for the employer, this is where it's helping the employer to achieve those strategic goals, whether it's reducing turnover, whether it's attracting the right talent or top talent. It could also be related to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging initiatives, because oddly enough, 2/3 of all student loan debt is held by women. And 85% of Summer users are women or persons of color, or Black, Indigenous, or people of color, right? So again, depending on the organization's strategic initiatives, Summer is very much aligned in not only meeting those goals, but exceeding those goals.
Yeah, that's perfect. Those are amazing stats, y'all. Please go to their website and check them out. Of course, I know a lot of people are going through open enrollment negotiations and so forth with their brokers. Definitely add this to the list because this is such a nice to have across the board. And so now that we've talked about the employer piece, so to my HR payroll peeps, don't have to worry about a stressful implementation process, would too much take over your day. But let's talk about the employee stance and how some are really, you've already kind of hit on, the money that it gives back to employees' pockets, right? Once they're relieved of the student loan debt, that allows them to, put towards savings, or maybe they want to buy a house or a home. But from like an employee stance within the actual system, like what the process would be for them. So we've gone through the implementation process from an employer stance, it's launched. Now employees are trying to get in and contact Summer to help them through getting approval and removing this debt from them and what that looks like.
Sure. Well, Tiana, we've talked about all of the different government programs that are available and how intimidating it can be and confusing to navigate the process. So, with having Summer in place, employees have one place to go for expert guidance. And they can receive that guidance through their means, right, of email or chat or having a phone conversation. And regardless of what is happening policy related around student loan programs, we are staying up to date on that, right? So it doesn't have to be the burden of the HR office to stay up to date or the employees to stay up to date. Let us take that burden on. You simply come to us for that expertise. And then the great thing is that we will sync your loans. Once we have the employee's information, we'll sync your loans for personalized tips to reduce your payments, reduce your debt. There are so many programs that are out there. Probably the most popular one that people are familiar with is the PSLF, which is the Public Service Loan Forgiveness, or also the income-driven repayment, right? So to know if you're eligible for those programs, that's something that we can help you with. Again, seamless enrollment. But then also think about those employees that are preparing for college, right? Preparing to help their children attain their dreams of going to college. And so they need assistance with planning and saving for college. So we can assist with that with our college savings planner. And then, loan rehabilitation, like you said, Tiana, we would all love for this debt to go away. And it doesn't often entirely go away for many of us, right? So knowing how to lean in from a rehabilitation standpoint, from a forbearance standpoint, right? Just to get things back on track, that's something that we can help with. And then I'm just going to mention it again, the average of $40,000 in savings per user, right? It's just incredible savings that's sincerely waiting for people to take advantage.
Absolutely. That's like another music to my ears moment happening here. It's just like all of that and then some, even helping someone's children, right? As they're going through the process. Like I had no idea I just knew was supposed to go to college and get my loans and that was it. Like no one explained that, oh yeah, years from now it's going to continue to have to be paid back. You just were like doing what you were supposed to do. So that's great because now from an employee stance, you guys, now Summer is helping you look amazing to your children, right? And helping them and teaching them so that they're not in the pickle that you're in now. So all good things, all amazing things. And I wanted to briefly kind of touch on how Summer can even help through the brokers or any type of like consultants like myself, 401k providers, so especially Jemila, since that is now going to be leading into your role with all of my broker connections too, wanted to just kind of give some insight to them on how this could help their clients as well, right? And how they can partner with you all, how they can reach out to you all, and what that type of partnership looks like.
Oh, that's such a great question. And, I think the simplest answer is that we have a shared goal. Our partnership, our collaboration should be easy. It should be second nature because we are both looking to help organizations. We want to help the organizations achieve their goals. We want to help employees to be happy, successful, and productive employees. So, we know that employers are actively seeking new ways to attract and retain employees. The job market is highly competitive, and making benefits more attractive fostering a positive workplace and providing those opportunities for growth are essential, right, for recruiting that top talent and keeping those current employees satisfied. So, again, that's something that we're doing with the tracking of reducing attrition by 20%. We know that HR is also focused on an ROI on the solutions or the programs that they implement, right? We don't want to waste our time doing this. We want to see that return on investment. And so with our solution, not only is it affordable, but it also, returns that investment through the employee with the $40,000 that we've talked about, but also where you have HR offices that are taking on some of these tasks related to student loan debt that become very manual or extra tasks for the HR team to manage. That's a savings for them as well. So, together, right, we can help companies succeed. It's a crazy tagline, but it's true.
Yeah, no, look, it's also funny because I always say too, like from an HR payroll stand, sometimes we don't always come across as a hero. It's hard. Like we're not bringing in the bacon per se, right? Like a salesperson. So any chance we get to have a really good ROI is such a game changer and to really show that, hey, look, these benefits are really beneficial to the employee population, can really help them from a very substantial stance, right? So like that $40,000 that can be paid off. That, some employees, of course, are staying, right? Because it's like they can't typically they're not going to get a 40K increase elsewhere, right? And so that is definitely a huge game changer, which I think is going to lead me into my next question, already kind of like tackling the naysayers, I would say. But I really wanted to talk about even more of like the positive impact that summer is having on employees. Any client testimonials or employee testimonials that you can share, would love to hear about. But separately too, so like the naysayer portion. So if I share like my story with student loans is, I mean, years back when Obama was in office, it was great to get help. So I had federal and private loans. My private loans got pushed to an attorney who I was paying a pretty big chunk every month to help me and never really knew what was really going on. We'd have like maybe one monthly check in and that was it. After a couple of years, could never get in contact with them, didn't hear from them, didn't even know what happened. I just had to like let it go. And then the end of last year, I get a check in the mail from the Consumer Financial Bureau, Protection Bureau. And literally, like, it was a whole check paying me back for all the money I had to given that past attorney. So there were a group of attorneys that had been sued and they should not have been like charging us. So when I say like I have a bad taste in my mouth, it's really like, even if I want to go back to school now, it's like, ooh, student loans. I don't know, unless I can pay for it fully. So I'm sure as you're approaching employers and approaching companies, either someone in the HR payroll suite seat is probably has bad taste in their mouth. There could be employees who may not even want to call your group because they're like, no, they don't even want to deal with it. So maybe help me explain to my population how summer over exceeds that, right? How you get past the naysayers and can really show that your business is a positive impact and actually have full suite testimonials to prove it.
Yes, it's very unfortunate the people that take advantage of people in their time of pain or their time of need or even, times of confusion where you just need guidance and support. So I think working with Summer, a reputable company, right, with proven results. And we do have detailed testimonials, of course, on our website, and I'll talk with you about some of them here. But I think those proof points are very important so that you can kind of validate, right, who you're working with and the help that is being offered to other organizations like your organization or other employees like you that need student loan assistance. So I think that's number one. I will also name drop, if you will, City of Alexandria. This is one of our customers that we partner with, and they have benefited greatly from leveraging Summer, and they see it as a vital attraction and retention tool, specifically in the nonprofit sector, and also specifically to the public service loan forgiveness, PSLF, that we mentioned previously. So they've seen specific results tied to that forgiveness program. And, again, the results don't lie, if you will. We do keep track of the results. We do have a savings guarantee. So as you are utilizing the summer system, employees are engaging, we're keeping track with those metrics, those KPIs, if you will. We want to know how many employees are enrolled in the program, how much savings have employees seen thus far. So it's something that has an ongoing tracker, if you will, and monitoring. So that way you're not sitting there wondering what you're paying for and never seeing the results. No, you will see the results. You will absolutely see the results. Some of the employees that have given feedback, which I think is very important because that's who we're all servicing, right? The employees. And for the employees to say that the communication is quick, the customer service is exceptional. I will also share that our support team takes a holistic kind of end-to-end approach. Collectively, they have over 35 years of combined experience in student loan benefits, 97% employee satisfaction, and 95% employer renewal. I'll give a shout out to Bridget, Angelica, Karishma, and Christina. They are leading the charge and doing a fantastic job at it. So that way, the naysayers don't persevere, right? There's nothing to naysay about. It's a benefit that is going to help 50 to 80% of employers' population. These are numbers that are just, we can't ignore that. We can't ignore the amount of people that can benefit from summer's support and services.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say this, like, so in certain past episodes, we've talked about like the mental health process, neurodiversity in the workplace, right? That people are more open now to talk about. I also feel like with student loans, I'm not really sure if we're like overly over that hurdle yet. I feel like people still just don't talk about it because it's something that you typically just cannot see, right? And so this is something that for all of my HR and payroll people, like not only yourselves who may be dealing with student loans, but your entire population, it's got to be at least what 70, 80% of populations that are dealing with this, right? So that's why it's such a big topic. And so even if you're going to a C-suite executive who really just does not see the reason why or doesn't think it's important, I think it's really critical to stress that it is very important. Most people are dealing with this and struggling with this with no end in sight, right? And so I think the fact that Summer is providing solutions for that, has a proven track record of that, and is showing that they can help people get through this without just waiting on something to happen, whether it's through the economy, whether it's through who's elected again. Like Summer can actually get the ball rolling for you guys already and get it done. And so that can just be off of your hair and off of your shoulders. It would be a huge relief. So to me, it is literally a no brainer. Like we've got to continue to spread the word, you guys, continue to share, like, push this out to everyone. Send the link to Summer's website, meetsummer.com. It'll be on the screen for you guys. And just please check them out. And as you're going through any type of negotiations, whether it's this season, whether you can't get it in this season, maybe next season, always reach out to Jemila. Always send a note through their website and connect with them because it's very, very important, especially in this day and age.
I couldn't agree more, Tiana. And I feel like we can talk about this for forever and a day, but I know we do have to wrap up eventually. I will say thank you so much for talking with me today and for having me on your podcast. It truly has been my pleasure. And I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to staying in touch and looking forward to talking to your audience and connecting with them as well.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jemila, for joining. You guys, make sure if you're not already connected with her, get connected with her. Make sure you check out Summer's page as well and follow them. And we are closing now. So we've already given you some really good insight. Now the ball is in your court. Take it and run with it. Reach out to me also if you have any other questions or for some reason you want a formal intro to Jemila or the team, I absolutely will send that over for you. We'll see you guys definitely in the next couple of weeks for another great episode on the Human Role. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.